What's up, you guys? It's Matt here. So yesterday I made some videos talking about Terra Luna Classic. I think it was actually only one video or maybe two. Kind of an impromptu video because Binance did their burn. And what's great to see is that there's a lot of people out there that like the burns. There's some people out there that are like, oh well, like no one really cares about these burns. They're saying this. They're like, oh, no one cares about these burns. We care about utility. We care about increasing what the future will bring. And I'm not saying that I would necessarily agree with you that we should care about that eventually, but as we're starting to see that divide of people that are like utility burns, and some people that are in the middle are like we can do both. Um, people are kind of losing their way and saying that burns will never increase volume. Burns will never give us what we want, and that burns aren't good enough to give us more. Because if we have the burns, we're not going to see the volume that happens with it, and we're just going to see the volume start to tank and tank and tank. However, that's kind of been proven wrong in multiple cases. So before we get started, guys, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell for more of these videos. Also, make sure you guys check out some of the links down below. It does help out the channel quite a bit. And if you guys want to follow me on Twitter, at PerryAK, follow me there. I've been doing a couple of giveaways over there, posting my thoughts and all that stuff. So if you want to see my thoughts more in real time, you can definitely check that out. But anyways, we're going to look at Terra Luna Classic today, look at the movement, look at the volume, look at where the burn actually happened, how much the burn was, and what the impact was. So, guys, let's go ahead and dive into this. Let's start with the position itself. So currently we're seeing Terra Luna Classic that's up to 0.000179, I guess. It's up about 9%, 9.33%. Or almost 9.5%. We're looking at about a $1 billion market cap again. So we're back up to that level, which is really, really good to see it up there. Fully diluted is 1.24 billion because we have a lot that's actually staked. And we look at the supply, we're looking at 500 or 5.9 trillion, almost 6 trillion. And then we have 6.8 trillion for the total supply. Now, volume today, as you can see, is up a lot. And what would you attribute that to? I would probably say it was the burns. The burns are what's impacting it. I was like, all right, well, I'll give them the benefit of the doubt. It might not be burns. It could be the entire market. Well, the entire market is not up 10%. It's down 0.5%. So to see the entire market where it is now, and to see Terra Luna Classic where it is now shows me that it's a different reason. It's an outside reason as to why we're seeing this increase, why we did see this at a high of 0.0001919 and that low of 0.0001605. So what's the purpose for that? Well, yesterday, like I said, I talked about the fact that Binance did a burn and they were sitting at 6 billion that they burned, or 6.4 billion is how much they have burned yesterday, and now they're at a total of 20 billion, 20.1. This is a small amount. 6 billion is not a crazy amount. However, it is a burn, and people are excited because it's more than expectation. Everybody's expectation during my live stream yesterday was saying that it was going to be 4 billion or 5 billion, or somebody said 500 million because of the Binance Convert feature. And a lot of people were wrong. Some people were close. They were like 7 billion. But it ended up being 6.4 billion, so closer to that level of that 7 billion mark, or 6 billion mark, like other people did say. So it came back higher than expectation because people had their expectations very, very low, especially with all of the lack of volume that we've seen. However, we have seen a little bit more volume with how things we're moving based on FTX falling and, the bankruptcy and everything that was going on there, the lack of trust in exchanges. People are moving their money. So we're seeing more burns throughout those transactions or transfers, which is definitely a good thing. And that's just CEX volume. Sorry. That's just CEX volume moving over to DEX volume. But then you also have the CEX volume where people are buying and selling over on Binance through spot trading and margin trading, where this 0.1% comes through. So 6 billion was a big deal. It wasn't huge. It wasn't the biggest thing, and it's not going to change the outcome of where this gets to right now. It's going to take forever to burn down to a level to where we feel like it could be comfortable at $1. But it's something. and something creates hype. And this is kind of that proof. I just tweeted out recently about this. So let me scroll down here. Right here, I tweeted out this picture and said, if you need an example of burns increasing volume on Lunic, then here you go. Because a lot of people will say burns do not increase volume. Burns will not increase volume. And I disagree with that wholeheartedly. I really do believe burns can increase volume, but depending on how you do it, they increase volume drastically. So, like when Binance was doing it every single week, we saw an increase in volume. Now we're seeing this month and we see an increase in volume while the market is down. And it's because burns do that. You know, when you burn Terra Luna Classic, it creates more people believing in where the future can go. So they buy into the position, which creates FOMO buying, which creates more burns, which creates more FOMO buying. And it's just a never ending cycle of burns that could increase the volume in the beginning. Now, as you get to the later stages, yes, burning will not matter, right? It won't matter as much. And I don't believe we will even have it in place because you want to burn down to a certain point and then you can get the ability to grow up to some of these levels, repeg USTC, do everything you wanted to do, and you don't need the birds in place in the future. So I'm not saying that in the future we need to burn every single year. We're only burning till you get to a certain point. And then you can establish whatever you want to establish with any use case, getting you to a comfortable point, not being in the trillions when it comes to supply. If you're in the billions, yes, you can make it work. But if you're in the trillions, it starts to get a little bit difficult because people want to see actual prices, not fractions of prices. People want to see it at 10 cents or a dollar or $5 or something like that. If it's a $5 billion market cap, we want to see it at $5 or $10 or something, right? We want to see it at actual real money value there. So, anyways, burns can increase volume, and this is kind of proof. There's plenty of other forms of proof with Binance doing the burns, with Lunatics token doing whatever their burns were, and their burns still continue to show up. But everybody that's doing different burns that we see bigger and bigger burns for, it creates more volume. Literally an increase of 297% in volume. Less than 100 million at one point, and now we're up to $304 million. You can't tell me that's a coincidence. That is because of the burn that came through. It creates volume, creates hype, creates opportunity, and that's kind of proof. So anyways, guys, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit that notification bell for more videos like this one. Also, make sure you guys check out some of the links down below. It does help out the channel. And if you guys want to follow me on Twitter, definitely follow me on Twitter at Perry8K. And don't forget about any of the other links that are down there. I'll leave you with this, before I get out of here and go to the next video, record the next video. It's not really a huge pump, right? We're seeing it's up 10%, but it's not a ridiculous pump. It's also not a huge burn. Imagine what could be done if we would see massive burns that come through CEX volume. Because this is just through one CEX out of probably like 0.5% or 5% of their overall volume or something. Not 5% of the volume there, but 5% of the volume that's eligible, right? So, and then you're looking at 0.1% of that 5% that's eligible. So anyways, imagine what it could be if it was if we were seeing multiple CEXs on board with an actual burn tax rather than a fee tax. So anyways, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. I'm going to get out of here, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.